Hi, John Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom. And today we've got another new addition to our inventory, this being a 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle SS Convertible on this car. Now this is a real SS, a real 138 VIN code car, and this does contain the original numbers match 396 cubic inch big block Chevy engine in it. So again, an all-around great car to have in your collection. So looking at our car here right now, we've got the Le Mans blue exterior paint here, nice, smooth and shiny. It's been block and buff, looks really good. As I look down the side here, I'm looking at the front fenders, I'm looking at the doors and the quarter panels to make sure everything all falls in line with one another, and to make sure that all the alignment is dead on this car, which it is. As I look down there, I see no deviation in the elevation when it comes to the door, quarter panels, and fenders. So again, this car is put together and adjusted very nicely here. You can see that we do have all of the SS emblems and badging on this car, starting with the 396 turbojet cross flag emblems here on the front fenders. We also have all the bright work, all the moldings that this car would have come with from the factory. So moldings like our bright wheel lift moldings here. We've got the lower body or rocker panel moldings down here, which also continue on to that rear quarter panel. We also have what we, for moldings have around the windshield here and up the A-pillar. Now again, this is a convertible obviously, so we're not going to have those drip rail moldings for on this car, but everything else is all intact as it would have been from the factory. We also have the driver's side mirror here. The finish on that, the chrome, is in excellent condition. There's no pitting whatsoever on that thing. Even your trim work around your wing windows here and around your windshield, excellent condition, polished up very nicely, no pitting to talk of. Windshield and wing windows, all in great condition. I don't see any chips, I don't see any scratches, any deep things like that in the glass whatsoever. It looks really good. Even the rubber around that vent window looks to be in good shape on this car. Now you can also look at your door gaps here on both the front side of the door as well as to the back side of the door there. And you can see that that is very uniform, the same front to back. So again, that door has been adjusted front to back, in and out, side to side, up and down. Everything that you can imagine, it's been through it, and it looks great sitting here for us. Now I'll come around the back side of our door here. I'm going to open this up real quick just to give you a quick peek inside at the interior. Now our Chevelle here, it's got the all blue interior in it as well. So the blue door panels, the blue upholstery on the seats, bucket seats up front here, factory center console, and that's a factory 4-speed center console. This does contain the Muncie 4-speed transmission in it. Blue dash, of course the beautiful white convertible top here looks to be in great condition here. You don't see any lines in it whatsoever from it ever being down. Even the back window in this car, being the plastic window, looks to be in great condition also. So we'll go ahead and close this up. Before we do, let me just mention it does have all the rubber bump stops, top and bottom. The weather stripping and seals around the doors here, up around the A-pillar here, those are all in excellent shape too on this car. So we'll close this. Door shuts very nice and easy, and again, that tells you that it's been adjusted really, really good on this car. As we come back a little further, our quarter panels, again, all of the metal and body work on this car is super straight on this. I did fail to mention wheels and tires on this car. We've got factory 15-inch steel rally wheels. As you can see, we've got the trim rings and the center caps here, and then mounted on those wheels to keep with the times on this car, we've got a set of BF Goodrich Silvertown radials. Of course, you see those do have the red lines on them, again, to give it that classic old look there to the car that it should have. All right, now that we're around the back side of our 66 Chevelle SS Convertible here, we'll take a look. We can see a little bit better now, this rear window and the convertible top here. You can see it's in really good shape. You can see through it clear as can be. Our molding, our bright work around the bottom of the convertible top here, that looks to be in excellent shape too. And you can see that convertible top. You see around the window, there's no like tears or any fraying of any of the stitching whatsoever. It all looks to be in great shape. Now our trunk lid, again, these Chevelles have that big steel trunk lid here. We can look the whole way around it at our gaps, the whole way around. Very uniform, both sides as well as up towards the back of that trunk lid. Again, elevations also are really good on this as compared to the tail panel or the quarter panels on this particular car. You can see our tail panel is blacked out back here with the Chevelle badging and the SS396 badging here as well. Tail lights, lenses, and the bezels around here all look to be in great shape. There's no cracks, no chips in any of those lenses. Of course, we've got the big chrome rear bumper back here, and that chrome finish is very nice on this particular car. Let's go ahead and open our trunk lid up now, and then we'll get to see the inside. So on first look here, we see that our underside of our trunk painted that same Le Mans blue as what the rest of the car is, and it looks like it's been polished and block and buffed also underneath here. Nice, smooth, and shiny as well. Not just like it's been dusted that color. It's also got the original decals back here for your spare tire and jack and so forth like that, and the limited slip differential. Now our particular car, we do retain a factory spare in here with the wheel cover here. Looks to be in good shape. We've got a trunk mat in here also that matches that spare tire cover. Also underneath the spare is the original bumper jack for this car. Now the trunk floor itself, good and solid, one-piece floor, painted up correctly as it should be with the gray and white trunk spatter paint. We do also have our white parade boot for the convertible top. That's in here as well. Trunk seals around the whole trunk here look to be in great shape. Probably new install on this car. Everything meets together real nice and tight here right in the center. So again, sealing this car from the elements, having any kind of leaks whatsoever, you're not going to run into that with this car. It's going to seal up great. We even have the little rubber bump stops up there on our trunk lid so that when you close it, it will rest on those rubber bump stops against the rest of the body. So we'll go ahead and close this up. There you go. You see it closes nice and easy. All right, now here on the passenger side of our Chevelle, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to look down the side of the car from the quarter panel all the way up to the front fender and make sure that everything falls in line, and it does on this side as well. Again, the quarter panel, the door, the front fender, all of those alignments are dead on. Elevations, there's no deviation in it whatsoever. The door fits great whenever you match it up to the quarter and that front fender, so everything looks great there. Of course, again, those Super Sport emblems back here, no pitting on those. The lower body molding down below that starts here on the quarter panel goes the whole way down our rocker panel there as well. That's all in good shape. The bright wheel lip moldings are 15-inch rally wheels with beauty rings and centers, and the BF Goodrich Silvertown radials with the red lines on them. Look really great on this particular car. Again, I've already mentioned the bright work, the trim around the bottom side of our convertible top here in the back. That looks great. Convertible top also looks great. You can see all the stitching the whole way around, all intact. There's nothing torn out, nothing frayed. This looks great. Again, our door gaps here on the back side of the door as well as the front side. Again, very uniform front to back. So again, the door has been adjusted very well. Let's go ahead and pop this door open. Again, just the same on the other side of the car. Our Le Mans blue carried over to the interior of the car. We've got the rubber bump stops, top and bottom. The seal around the whole door looks to be great. Even our seals here with the quarter windows look great. Threshold plates, again, great. And then on our door panels and our upholstery on the inside, that all looks to be in really good condition on this car. We'll close this up. Again, it shuts real nice and easy. Move up here towards our front fender. Again, all the metal nice and straight as can be on this car. Now the tire size, I didn't mention that. It's 225/70 R15s, and that's all four corners. All right, and finally now we made it around to the front of our Chevelle SS Convertible here. So again, steel hood. It's got the louvers in the hood like it should for the SS model. Elevations and gaps the whole way around the hood, all very uniform, and again they match up with the tops of the fenders very well in this particular car. We do have the trim work here, the bright work here on the front of the hood. That looks great too. There's no pitting in that. Of course, we have just our traditional grille for the Chevelle. Got the SS 396 emblem right here in the center of the grille. Our headlights, you've got your highs and low beams here, and these are just your traditional sealed beam units. Glass lenses, again, those are in excellent shape too, so there's no chips or cracks in any of those glass lenses. And the bezels around there, the bright work, those look to be in really good shape here. So I'd say they probably replaced those at one time because they look that good. Again, the grille, black where it should be, polished and bright where it should be also, looks really great. Nice, beautifully chromed front bumper here on the car as well. And again, your trim up along the eyebrows here of the headlights and along the leading edge of the hood here. That looks to be in all great shape too. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop our hood down, and we'll talk a little bit about what we have under here. First off, the hood, again, all steel. So the steel underside, it's been painted black, as well as the inner fenders and the cowl in this car. So that looks good. All of the hood insulation is all intact where it should be. Nothing hanging down. Looks to be hung up really nice, attached as it should be. Now again, as far as the engine goes in this car, this is the original numbers match 396 cubic inch big block Chevy engine. We've got the factory style air cleaner here with the chrome lid on it. We've got underneath that, I believe, I can't remember what carb we had on that. I'm going to say, if I had to guess, it's probably a Holley carb. That's what most of these cars came with. It's got just your stock cast intake on it that's been painted. It's got a set of chrome valve covers here, just like it should. Of course, it's got, looks to be even the original style heater hoses for this car with the original style clamps also. So again, they're trying to keep everything as factory appearing as possible on this car. Now it's got the stock style ignition on it, so stock style distributor. It's got a stock style coil on it as well. Looks like they probably replaced the plug wires too on this car, but they just went with, like I said, a 7mm wires on it. But again, there have been upgraded wires on it, so everything's good there. Power brakes on this car, power steering on this car as well, so it's going to run and drive really great for you. And then of course just got your stock style fan on it here, or a radiator I should say, along with, I believe it was a 6-blade fan in this car. Yes, it is 6-blade fan, and again it's got the fan shroud on it as well. Breather, PCV valve, and the valve covers there for you, so it's going to keep everything running right. And then of course we've got just the stock cast exhaust manifolds on this car. A lot of times guys elected to leave those on only because putting headers on, you open yourself up to header and exhaust leaks all the time. The manifolds very rarely ever leak, and they were good for these cars as far as the performance went. Just a little bit on the heavy side, that was all. So again, dual exhaust all the way back. We'll check that out a little bit later in our underside video. But for right now, that's pretty much all we have for underneath here. All right, now we're sitting inside the comfort of our 66 Chevelle SS Convertible. And you can tell just by looking at this car how incredible the condition is of everything here, especially this beautiful interior here. You can start out at the door panels there. You can see it's got full-length door panels. The very outer rim of that door panel obviously is same color as the car, that same Le Mans blue there. The door panels themselves are in excellent shape. The armrests, those are in great shape. They're not split or torn from years of use. It looks to be fairly new stuff there. Even the trim work around it, the bright work, looks to be great on that on this car. You've got the blue tatted dash here. That's in great condition. There's no tears or cracks in that dash pad. It's got the original factory dash in it, factory instrumentation that includes your fuel gauge, your battery gauge, the 120 mile an hour speedo, and then of course your temperature and your oil gauges are all up there. It has the knee knocker tack down here too. Probably can't see that, but it's right down here, located right next to your steering column. Then of course the factory steering wheel here. That's in excellent shape. It looks brand new. We have our factory 4-speed center console here, Hurst shifter, and it's got the Hurst white shift ball there for the 4-speed. Of course, we have our factory console clock in here too, and lo and behold, it's actually working. So I see the second hand going around here, so that's really great that you have one of those that works. Very seldom that happens. As far as the radio goes, I would assume that this is probably either a custom auto sound or maybe Retro Sound is another company that makes them, but it's a radio similar to one of those. I'm just not certain of the name brand, but again, it's a radio that fits right in the dash in the stock holes. You do not have to modify your dash whatsoever. It looks great and performs great too, so it'll be a digital AM FM radio for you here that'll actually work really good for you. Factory heater controls in this car. The whole dash, the paint, the trim, everything on this thing is in great condition. There are no marks whatsoever in this. We've got the Super Sport badging in here as well on the dash, so all of that looks great. We also have all of the seat belts here in this car. They're all intact. They've got the front seat belts, got the ones in the back also. Again, our convertible top, this is a manual top, so if you're going to use it, you're going to have to unlatch it here at the sides and then tip it back manually there. Other than that though, it's in great condition, both top and underside. Even our side panels in the back seat there are in great shape. The paint and the panels in them in great shape. Carpeting, again, awesome condition here. You can see our front ones, they've even put the paper down, the plastic there to help preserve and protect the carpeting here. So that's all in great shape as well. All right, now that we have our 1966 Chevelle SS convertible here up on the lift, we're going to go through the underside just like we always do and point out to you exactly what we see underneath here, all the components and so forth like that. So starting up towards the front of the car here, we'll just talk about front suspension for right now. We have a stock factory style sway bar up here. So the bar itself looks good. Our frame mounts with bushings, those look to be in good shape too. They're not split out or cracked, they're all intact. And as far as the sway bar end links, those look good too. Bushings all intact on those. Matter of fact, those look like they've been replaced just recently with some new items there. So that all looks good. As far as the front arms here for the suspension goes, this is just all stock suspension. So you got your stock lower control arms, your stock upper A arms on this particular vehicle. Ball joints on both top and bottom, those look good, in good condition too. You can tell they've been maintained very well throughout time here, so those all look good. As far as bushings back here at the frame where they mount to the rest of the chassis, those look good too. As a matter of fact, it looks like some of those may have been replaced with some new stuff here. Those look in really good shape. Shocks and suspension, we just have, you know, stock style springs. Of course, this is a big block car, so you have the big block springs in it with your shocks here. As far as braking across the front, we do have disc brakes up front. Now this is just regular GM components, nothing special here, but it is a front disc. So you got your caliper and your rotor, all stuff that you can buy if you need to replace it at your local auto parts store anywhere. And then working to the drive line while we're up here. Engine, this is your original numbers matching 396 3¼ horse motor. We'll see more of that obviously once we open that hood up. But again, this is coupled up to a 4-speed transmission, manual transmission. This is the Muncie M21, complete with aluminum bell housing. That's in all good shape, nicely cleaned up here. We got the transmission cross member here. That's in good shape. It's not banged up. It's a good solid piece here. Your tail mount for the transmission, that's in good shape too. The bushing there, that's all intact. Now the drive shaft, you can see it's nicely painted underneath here, and that all obviously connects to our rear end here, which is a GM 12-bolt rear end on this particular car. Now as far as exhaust coming from the engine all the way back, we've got our stock cast exhaust manifolds, dual exhaust. The exhaust on this looks to be pretty new too. You can tell from all the pictures and of course our video right now. This looks really good. All of your bends are nicely done. Mandrel bent tubing all the way back to your dual mufflers here. And these are probably just, you know, a set of like turbo style mufflers here. And then of course it does have the correct style tailpipes on it too, which go up and around over top of your rear end and then exit out just right to the inside there of your rear quarter panels on this car. When it comes to the frame, you can see this frame here down the passenger side, nice and solid the whole way down, nice and straight. Same thing here on the driver's side, all the way back. Of course, a Chevelle is a full frame car, so no need for any kind of subframe connectors. It's full frame and it's solid too, so you will not find any patching or any holes in that frame. It's in excellent condition there. Now our car has the emergency brake and it is hooked up here, so you can see all the correct mounts for it. You got your J hook here, the mount going over to your frame to the other side here, your intermediate cable all the way back connected to the cables going to both drum brakes on the rear. So again, e-brake all hooked up. Floors, that's where we're going to go to next. These floors are the original floors for this car. There's no holes, there's no patching to speak of in here. The only thing that I see is it looks as though they may have put this 4-speed might have been an afterthought here. So again, it looks like they've cut the floor out there for the shifter, but they did an excellent job of it. I mean, they trimmed it out just perfect so that you could fit that in there. And again, everybody loves the 4-speed on these 396 big block cars. As we work our way backwards, I can look at the trunk floor now. What I can see of it besides the fuel tank here, and the trunk floor is in excellent condition, all solid, no patching whatsoever. Of course, you can see our fuel tank here. It looks to be a brand new unit in here too. All the mounting hardware, your straps here, the bolts, everything, that all looks to be in excellent condition. Rear shocks in the car look to be fairly new. You can see our rear suspension arms. Again, this would be your metric 4-link back here, which is what the car came with standard. Those are in excellent shape. Those arms are in great condition. Springs look good. Like I said, tailpipes are in excellent shape. So everything underneath this car looks great. We've been through it from front to back now.